Today's question comes from Jesse in Texas. He visits DaveRamsey.com to ask, I'm 24 years old and our family had 3 cars for the 4 of us. Last week I blew the transmission taking a corner too fast, so the car is totaled. I am paying my parents the deductible and insurance will cover the rest of the value of the car. My mom's been hounding me that wrecking the car will lead them to having to buy a car with payments. But to me, it feels like they're blaming me for them buying a $20,000 car when the car I wrecked was worth around $10,000. I'm just trying to decide how responsible I should feel or what I should be okay paying them and what sort of boundaries I should create with them about this. Should I buy my own car?
Answer to the last question first, yes.
Yes. Answer to the other question, you should feel 100% of the blame because you took the car you took the corner too fast and blew the car out. The cost of the car that your parents are driving isn't the point here. The point here is I broke somebody's something, and I've got to, as a part of being forgiven, is restoration. I've got to make this right. I don't know, Dave. This question, I don't like the heart of this question, if that makes sense.
You're reading the...
Am I reading into it wrong?
You're reading the sentence structure and seeing stuff in there more than just the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this question, my mom's hounding me that wrecking the car, it should have only been worth $10,000. They had a $20,000 car. All that doesn't matter.
No.
Right?
The car he wrecked was worth around 10. They're wanting to buy a 20.
Okay.
The difference is on them.
There you go. That's right. There you go.
The difference is on mom and dad. You don't have to feel any blame or shame for that portion.
No.
But and so she can't say you forced her to buy a $20,000 car when she was formerly had a $10,000 car.
That's right.
Go buy a car that replaces this. I'm still trying to figure out how taking a corner blows the transmission and totals a $10,000 car. It sounded like he rolled it too, maybe. I don't know. But,
I don't know either. But
okay, so there's insurance.
Right.
And mom and dad have a $10,000 car, and they need to get a $10,000 car is what I would recommend for them.
And they're going to get a $10,000 check.
And they should just use that to buy that car.
So
however,
that's not on him for the gap.
There's a deductible.
Right.
And whatever the deductibles are, you should be responsible for that, and you should go get a separate car of your own, which will probably cause a couple of things. One is it'll cause you to drive differently. And the second thing, maybe. Then the second thing is that then you don't have all this interwoven stuff with your parents with blaming and shaming and you being responsible and not feeling responsible and all those kinds of things. You are responsible for causing a disruption in the family with your recklessness. And you are responsible for any out-of-pocket money that costs them to replace the car equivalent to what you were driving.
And this points to a broader conversation. I had a conversation with an extraordinary minister last night. We just spent some time together hanging out, and we were talking about the foundations of forgiveness. And he said something profound that I think all of us can listen to. But this idea of forgiveness is if you do something that hurts somebody and you come and say, hey, I'm sorry, I want to make this right, you have to let the person who was hurt speak into, here's how we're going to make this right. Mm-hmm. And I can't come to you and say, hey, I messed up. And my expectation is I'm going to tell you how I can fix this. Mm-hmm. Because there's a bigger picture there. Now, You're exactly right, Dave, and I missed this sentence here. If mom and dad say, well, I need to get a $50,000 car here, so you're going to cost us $40,000. That's not true.
Yeah. And that's not, if that's necessary for them to be forgiving, then you have a toxic situation with them. That's right. A different thing. But you should make whole any damage you have caused.
And sometimes wholeness hurts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you, we had a caller the other day that the friend wasn't speaking to her because she borrowed a bicycle that disappeared. Stolen. Remember that?
Right.
It was you and me, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. And we never heard how much the bicycle cost.
Right.
She gave her $500, but was it a $1,200, advanced whatever mountain bike or whatever, Right. And so we don't know. Did she leave her $7? So you need to make them whole.
Right.
And beyond that, a little bit maybe here or there, but beyond that, if they start to try to do, I need double whole to feel okay, then that starts to be a problem on their side of the equation. And the whole forgiveness thing starts to unfold. And sometimes it's unclear what whole is, but in this case, it's very clear.
Well, and that goes all the way down to that bottom question, which I love the way you answer that order. If you have your own car as a 24-year-old, this isn't an issue.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
I accuse you of driving better. However, that has never been the case for me. So just because I got my own car, never once did it make me drive better.
No.
So
me neither. I'm working on it. Thanks for the question, Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely.